That year, we both made the Hajj and visited Sayyidina Muhammad, initially not even knowing that the other would be there. As it was through the university setting that I learned this spiritual lesson on sisterhood and how loving the Prophet could connect previously clashing hearts, it was my experience as a Black Muslim in a largely Desi and Arab Muslim Student Association in the 90s at Duke that led up to my groundbreaking research on racial tension and hope in the American Ummah. First slide. Growing up in Atlanta, I attended an African American masjid and graduated from an all-Black Muslim private school. However, in college, for the first time, my most important community was not 100% African American. Okay, I advance it. All right. The Muslim community I identified with at Duke was the MSA, Children of Immigrants. They became among my cherished friends. We shared meals together, prayed together, and studied together. Nonetheless, there was tension around their not understanding our Black Muslim community, namely a community that identified with the leadership of Imam Warthi Muhammad, rahimahullah. For context, who was Imam Warthi Muhammad, radiyallahu anh? Here's a brief history lesson, very brief. In 1975, the leader of the Nation of Islam, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, died, and his son, Wallace D. Muhammad, succeeded him and guided Nation of Islam members to Al-Islam, or Universal Islam. Many of us know about the transition to Universal Islam through Malcolm X's story, how he made the Hajj in 1964 and changed his name to Hajj Malik Shabazz. What many don't know is that Imam Warthi Muhammad led the entire Nation of Islam community to Al-Islam a decade later and immediately taught from the Quran and established the practices of the Prophet ﷺ. So, I grew up, let's see how I can go back. I'm missing a really beautiful slide, it seems. So I grew up in a masjid dominated by men and women who went through this transition, really a mass conversion, and Imam Muhammad easily functioned as a sheikh for them. So in our MSA, there were 5 of us from the Warthi Muhammad community, which was very special at Duke at that time. And we all grew up in different cities in different Warthi Muhammad masjids. The non-Black students were quite ignorant and offensive when it came to our Black Muslim community heritage. They questioned why we used the term honorable when referring to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. They criticized Imam Warthi Muhammad for putting more America into Islam than Islam in America, to use one student's words. They said that our dress was wrong. And those years at Duke in the 90s, Imam Warthi Muhammad was invited to speak on campus at least 3 times, which was also very special. Also, though, happening at that time was the Bosnian genocide. After one of his lectures, which drew very large crowds as usual, a Bosnian sister in the MSA expressed out loud that she was baffled by the number of people that poured out for his lecture. What hurt most was that she said it with a tone of outrage. Weren't there more pressing matters for an internationally renowned Muslim leader to censor, like the genocide in Bosnia? But no, instead, the predominantly white audience came to hear a Black imam enlighten us on the divine way that Islam came to be a Black religion in America. While that memory is vivid, brighter are the memories of the sisterhood that formed between us, the women in the MSA, which led to reunions post-college as captured in this slide. And ultimately to a dissertation thesis arguing that our shared Muslim faith created pathways to sisterhood despite our differences and divides. But not without some very difficult moments, as demonstrated in a dialogue I captured in my field research in Chicago in 2002. I met an Eritrean woman named